It's no secret at all that I couldn't do this channel if it wasn't for support from you, my subscriber base, and my Patreon donors. If you'd like to join this community by pledging $1 or more per month, go check out the link in the description below. And I thank you. Hey, it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets, and I'm Ethan Van Sciver, comic book artist for 25 years, your Uncle Ethan. And a lot of people are asking me about this on Facebook right now. Somebody said to me, hey, what do you think about Tom Cruise as Green Lantern? And I was just like thinking, well, somebody just had this random casting idea, and they're asking me what I think about it. And what do I think about it? I think absolutely nothing about it. I mean, it's like, I don't know. What do you mean? In what decade would I be happy to see Tom Cruise as Green Lantern Hal Jordan? In this decade? In this day and age, in current year, would I be happy to see Tom Cruise as Green Lantern? Well, to be fair, in my opinion, Tom Cruise almost never ages. He looks pretty much the same today as he looked way back in the 1980s. Having said that, if there are road miles on Tom Cruise, they're in his brain. I think we've all seen examples of bizarre behavior from this man that but at the same time, I mean, when I think about Tom Cruise, I don't think about him jumping up and down on Oprah's couch. I don't think about the bizarre hyperactivity. I don't think about him being married to the bizarre Katie Holmes, child woman, who pretty much single-handedly ruined Batman Begins for me. And I love Batman Begins, but when I have to look at Katie Holmes smirking like an SJW and lecturing Christian Bale, you don't talk to Batman that way. You don't talk to Bruce Wayne that way, Katie Holmes from Dawson's Creek. I'm sorry. That's just not the way it works. I don't care who you're married to. So let's look at this article here on Screen Rant. Let's find out why people are saying crazy things to me about Tom Cruise being Hal Jordan. Okay, it says, it's time to prepare for DC's Green Lantern movie to star Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan. So they're setting this article up as kind of a prepare yourself, steel your wills. It's quite possible that, casting for Hal Jordan is going to be even weirder the second time around. I disagree. I honestly, Tom Cruise is a much better choice for Hal Jordan than Ryan Reynolds. Why do I say that? Ryan Reynolds was a kid. He's a goofball. There are no circumstances in which I think of Ryan Reynolds as the type of man who can get things done by force of will. I've seen Tom Cruise do that. I've seen him do it in the Mission Impossible movies. He's a believable action hero. I will say that he's got like a rare kind of intensity about him that could work as Hal. So let me see if I can talk myself into this. Fans may still have a hard time believing Warner Brothers is moving forward with any movie adaptation of Green Lantern, let alone the proposed Green Lantern Corps ensemble. At a time when the future of the DCEU is uncertain, trying a second swing at the superhero Ryan Reynolds still takes shots at sounds like folly. Ryan Reynolds, shush. Jesus, you could have said no. It's not Green Lantern's fault that, you goofed that movie up and you played that character so badly. But then the new leadership of DC Films isn't going to win over fans by sticking to safe bets. Not that a star of Cruise's stature is at risk at this point. I get it, because risky business. I think that, I don't know, the quotes didn't need to be there. There's more evidence than that tying Tom Cruise to the role of Hal Jordan. In fact, the new reports of WB looking to the current Mission Impossible director for a Green Lantern movie may reveal more than the fans realize. When you connect the dots, this potential star and director seem to make perfect sense for DC Films and Green Lantern Hal Jordan, not just on the set of such a big sci-fi blockbuster, but behind the scenes. giving it the best chance at giving DC another winner. Whether or not the rumors prove true, it is a sign that the initial word of Tom Cruise being sought was more than just Hollywood gossip. This page, Tom Cruise may not have passed on Green Lantern. Tom Cruise may actually be interested in Green Lantern. Well, he should be. We all should be. When the first reports surfaced of the studio's top picks for Green Lantern, it was obvious that they would make waves no matter what the choice. With Tom Cruise on the Green Lantern shortlist and apparently joined by Ryan Reynolds reprising his role. What? Wait a sec. Oh. So they're thinking about. I'm sorry. I thought Ryan Reynolds and Tom Cruise were going to be in the movie together. No, they're thinking about recasting Ryan, which would be devastating. The idea of casting a young up-and-comer or lesser-known actor went out the window. Good. The return of Reynolds made sense to hope for, but with his schedule filling up with Deadpool sequels, good, keep doing those, and his bad experience the first time around, he was a long shot. Cruise, on the other hand, suggested that Warner Brothers hoped to hedge their bets with a risky property by casting one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Now, look, again, it worked for Robert Downey Jr. It worked for him. I mean, I've known Robert Downey Jr. in other roles for decades, and now he is simply Tony Stark. And, I mean, Tom Cruise, people do make fun of him. I do think that there's something wrong with him. I think he's got a screw loose somehow, somewhere. He's a Scientologist and a kind of wacky guy. I don't know if I could spend very much time in the same room with him. But he is, a terrific actor. I say he's got good intensity. Like I said, he's known to be a good action film star, and he brings weight and gravitas to every role that he inhabits. He could be. I mean, this is the kind of guy who could slide into this role like Ben Affleck did Bruce Wayne to a lesser extent, but certainly Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, and just instantly become Hal Jordan. And by the way, I do think of Hal Jordan as not being that young. I would like Hal Jordan to be 38. Tom Cruise is older than that, but he could play. He could play 38, I guess. All right, where do we go here? Cruise, on the other hand, suggested that Warner Brothers hoped to hedge their bets by casting one of the biggest names in Hollywood. That's right. Now comes the report that, separately, it seems, the studio is looking to Christopher McQuarrie to direct their Green Lantern Corps. Given McQuarrie and Cruise's working relationship, seeing their names raised for the same project isn't a surprise. Cruise was a major proponent of bringing McQuarrie on to helm Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, great movie, in his capacity as well as star. Wait, is that the last one? I might have goofed that up. Is Rogue Nation the one that I just saw, or is that a new one that's coming out? I don't know. They all run together with the 007 movies for me. And after Valkyrie, Jack Reacher, Edge of Tomorrow, Rogue Nation, The Mummy, and the upcoming Mission Impossible Fallout. Okay, so that's the one I saw. McQuarrie is clearly one of Cruise's preferred collaborators, which helps sketch out a possible timeline on the dealings behind Green Lantern Corps and why this new report may be a sign that development is in some way still moving forward. So, can more be read into Cruise's becoming WB's top pick for Green Lantern, development going nowhere for months, and McQuarrie seemingly courted to direct and presumably rewrite? Let's just say that Tom Cruise's Green Lantern may still be on the table. Yeah, good. See, I'm getting talked into it. Look at him there. Yeah. Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie may be a package deal after weighing the reports. It seems a stretch to assume that the reports aren't connected. The most obvious explanation still begins with Warner Brothers trying to convince Tom Cruise to nab the lead in Green Lantern Corps as previously rumored. The deal would be tenuous based on a little more than the fact that Cruise hasn't made many films with WB, but add in the recent shifts in leadership, and it's not even clear who Cruise would be working with as star and producer. Were he to apply the same leverage as he did with Mission Impossible and move to bring McQuarrie into the deal to write, direct, and produce, things may change considerably regardless of the outcome. The most obvious explanation suggests Cruise has yet to formally refuse or at least lack any interest. Now, Tom Cruise, you just made The Mummy. It was horrible. Your Mission Impossible movies do work. People do like you as Ethan, okay? So we're already kind of bonded in a way with first names. maybe now you should become Green Lantern. And again, I'm sure everyone is looking at Christian Bale. Everyone is looking at, certainly they're looking at Robert Downey Jr. You have to look at that and just be envious of that role. Big star, great actor, playing a superhero and having a great time doing it. But is Warner Brothers willing to give up such creative freedom? That might be a sticking point, considering the rumors of studio meddling in both Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, and that was before the Justice League movie debacle. Then again, WB may be more than willing to get into business with proven creators. Would that be enough to convince Cruise to take one of the two starring roles? For the sake of the movie and the character, we hope so. That is dynamite right there. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. And it kind of does look like Tom Cruise. Maybe it looks a little bit more like the guy who plays Captain America. What's his face? With brown hair. But yeah, that looks like Hal Jordan to me. There will be plenty of comic book fans who hear the name Tom Cruise and discussions about Green Lantern and simply scoff. But such is the price of an undeniable A-lister status, as many balked at Ben Affleck being cast as Batman. Yeah, noting the actor for his worst roles, not his best, but nobody needs to make a case for Tom Cruise instantly turning Green Lantern Corps from an uphill battle into a serious contender, not just for his knack at drawing blockbuster crowds, but for the budget and quality associated with the projects he joins. Thankfully, the role in Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps could also capitalize on Cruise's entire range of talent while bringing an as yet unexplored structure to the superhero genre. Let's not forget Top Gun. Let's not forget that we're used to seeing Tom Cruise crawling in and out of like F-14 fighter jets. We've seen it before. I can picture it right now. I do like the idea of Hal Jordan being older and wizened, training a younger John Stewart, which is the plot supposedly for Green Lantern Corps. For those who have not kept up with the Corps rumor, prior reports suggest that Green Lantern Corps will co-star Hal Jordan and John Stewart. Hell yeah. One, the test pilot turned veteran space cop, the other, a new recruit and former Army sniper. The word of mouth said DC is looking for a star up to the age of 50 for Hal Jordan. Dynamite. They would certainly make an exception for 50. He's that old? 55-year-old Tom Cruise? The question from a casting standpoint isn't just which actors could play Hal Jordan, but who step on screen in their first film, sell the idea they've been a superhero for years. Look at it. He looks good. He looks good. They're picking good images of him for this. Yeah, put a ring right on that finger right there. Have him just blow Evil Star right in the face like that. An actor of Cruise's fame would do it from before the very first teaser trailer, in much the same way Ben Affleck eclipsed Henry Cavill in BVS. Not that hard. The biggest opportunity, though, may be in the team chemistry. If fans' hopes came true and the Corps turned into a full-blown ensemble with a squad of starring lanterns, well, we've seen it already. You'd need to step up the game there. Hal would be the one character guaranteed not to be overshadowed, which is harder than it seems. John Stewart, he's the military man, apparently having his story act as the audience's introduction. Guy Gardner, the comic relief. We need Guy. Every other human lantern was created with a clear quirk or archetype. But Hal Jordan, he has to make it just by playing a likable, charming, classical hero, a well-worn in Marvel's movie mold. Who better to make that role sing than the movie star? These guys are in love with Tom Cruise. Letting Cruise channel both his Ethan Hunt adrenaline and his sense of humor. Well, let's watch that sense of humor, please. If the studio really wants constant freshness in DC movies, there's no reason why Tom Cruise shouldn't also get to have some fun. If a writer-director like McQuarrie actually did take the job, a star of Cruise's caliber would simply be a bonus. If they're both taking time to get it right, fans can keep their fingers crossed in the meantime. Yeah, all right, so this article is basically just an argument, a long argument for why Tom Cruise would be good as Hal Jordan. Now, I feel like after reading that and after looking at these images of him recently, I do like it. I do like it. He is a big star. I can absolutely picture him in the role. And I think somebody actually asked this question before. They said, "What, because I think he was on the short list for Hal Jordan, and people asked me at one point, like, who do you think should play Hal Jordan out of this list? And I actually said Tom Cruise, and people scoffed at me and said, "Oh, no, no, no." Now I feel the same way. I like every movie I've ever seen Tom Cruise in. I loved War of the Worlds, and everyone hated it. He is just someone that I connect with on the screen. Off screen, he scares the hell out of me. But when he's on screen and I'm imagining that he's a heroic, all American hero, protagonist, I buy him every single time. Now, of course, my choice for Hal Jordan, who does not quite have the weight and heft as someone like Tom Cruise, was Josh Holloway from Lost. This to me is the face of Hal Jordan. He's got the nice square jaw. He's got that devil-may care kind of elan. He's younger than Tom Cruise, certainly. Good-looking guy who would look good in that mask right there. And I did use him for reference quite a few times when I was drawing Green Lantern Rebirth. I let everyone know it. I let everyone know it. And I hear that he did get a meeting with Warner Brothers, but I don't know about what. And that was during the Justice League movie, during the filming. So I'm not sure what that meeting was for or what they were thinking about using him for. But wouldn't that be a kick if they were actually considering using him for Green Lantern in the Justice League movie when things were still kind of up in the air? Back to Tom Cruise. All right, I'm sold. All we need is a good script, and we need him to look like this. We need it to stay true to the comics. Is this guy a fan? Is the director McQuarrie? Is he a fan? Can he? Does he like Green Lantern, or is he going to try to overhaul it and remake it into something else? We need this man to be true to the story. He needs to work closely with the work that Geoff Johns did on the title. Go back and read Secret Origins, but just have that in the back of your mind. Please don't spend a lot of time retelling Hal Jordan's origin. I like the idea that he's a seasoned space cop in this movie. I like the idea that he is training a young John Stewart. That is correct. It would be great to get Guy Gardner in there too, but John Stewart does come next. I want this to follow the comic books as closely as possible. So first Hal, then John, then Guy, and then we'll introduce Kilowog and the other aliens, as Joe Staton did in the 1980s, and then we'll go ahead and introduce Kyle Rayner much later down the line, perhaps when Hal Jordan becomes Parallax and goes evil. The trilogy is right there. It's waiting to happen. You got to take it slow. People have said, what went wrong with the movie? They've asked me. What went wrong is there's so much. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern is such a massive concept that it's too much for audiences to buy all at once. You need to feed them this elephant one bite at a time. And the first bite should be Hal Jordan, the ring on Earth. The idea that there are aliens out there, and one in particular brought a ring to a human to become a Green Lantern, deal with an earthbound menace, or maybe an alien invasion coming to Earth, something like that, but something that grounds us in the world that we know. And then in the second movie, we can go ahead and we can meet Sinestro, we can meet the other 7,200 Lanterns on Oa and the Guardians, and really understand what there is as a universal concept. We can start to explore what the purpose of the Green Lantern Corps is. And then in the third movie, let's do the emotional spectrum. Let's do that. Let's talk about the colors of the rainbow and their ties to other corps and other religions and other rings. I think that would be the proper way to roll out the Green Lantern story, one bite at a time. So that audiences would be able to digest information and not get it all at once. Because all at once it's pretty kooky. Not unlike Scientology. You have to just, hey, it's a self-help program, and then boom, right to the alien in the volcano. No. One piece at a time. So yeah, Tom Cruise as Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, thumbs up for me after some consideration, and a very persuasive article. What do you guys think? Why don't you let me know in the comments below how violently opposed to this you are, or maybe you're skeptical but you're willing to wait and see. Please like this this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I mean, that would be terrific. And also, there's a link to my Patreon as well in the description. So thank you to everyone. I will see you again soon. Bye.
In the ATL, that's my homeboy. Watch your back if you're gonna walk alone, boy. Cause everybody in the homeboys trying to get rich. You could get hit even if you know 'em, boy. We the kings of the South. Pies in the oven, grills in the mouths. Count stacks is a usual norm. College Park, Bank here, where the hustle was born. So peace up and A-Town down. 4-4 living.